Prestige Cuvée. So, and this wine was always, what is interesting is with La Grande Année, to start, it's always blind tasting when you do the blind. And always at Bollinger, we found this balance of kind of 2/3 Pinot Noir, 1/3 Chardonnay. This is really what we call it the density of the Pinot Noir is balanced out with the subtlety of the Chardonnay. And that for us, it's really 2/3, 1/3. Of course, we don't do it every year, only when the conditions are quite good. Just to give you a brief overview over the last few years, we did 2002, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12, 14, and 15. So now we're seeing with global warming, it's getting easier and easier to make vintages. So maybe that will speed up in the future. We know that we had 18, 19, 20, which were a beautiful trilogy also of vintages. And what is interesting with 15, it was really the first of a long series of very warm vintages. At that time, it was the hottest year ever. We know before we had 76, we had 2003, we were really on these very hot years. And for us, the challenge was to manage, when you have a warm vintage, hot vintage, is how do you manage the freshness of the wine. And you have to dive into the blend of this wine to see the subtlety that the team has done at that time. Traditionally at Champagne Bollinger, AI is the number one dominant cru in the blend. This year it's Verzenay. So in order to maintain the freshness, this subtlety, this elegance of Champagne Bollinger, we went more on Verzenay, which is facing north. It's a Grand Cru, northern slope, and that's how you get. It's really about very fruit forward, this wine, because of the warm vintage. You get beautiful fruits, ripe fruits, fruit stone like plums, mirabelle also, this kind of notes. And at the same time, you have a very salinity on the finish and freshness coming from this Verzenay dominance in the cru. So to me, I'm always impressed with La Grande Année because you have this contrast almost of powerful wine, but at the same time extremely elegant. And we have this word, we have a verb internally, it's not in the dictionary, but we have a verb to describe the wine like that. We say ça Bollinge. Bollinger, ça Bollinge, it means it's Bollinge. And it's really when you look at the characteristics of Champagne Bollinger, about this, to me, the signature is this contrast with a full body wine, but always super elegant, not heavy at all. The wine has been all Grande Année of the same way in terms of craftsmanship, 100% barrel fermented, which is something that kind of disappear in Champagne, to use barrel fermentation. No new oak. When you taste the wine, you don't feel any new oak aromas. It's only old barrels. They're really here to develop the creaminess of the wine, texture of the wine. And then the wine is aged 7 years with natural cork, which here also is something which is completely disappearing in Champagne. My grandfather actually did experiments on the benefits when the corn caps arrived of corn caps versus natural cork aging. And we realized that at that time that with 5 years aging, it's becoming really more interesting to be with natural cork aging. More freshness, more complexity on the wine. So we decided at that time that Special Cuvée Rosé, less than 5 years aging, corn caps, but all the vintages are with natural cork aging, which means riddling, disgorgement, and because we don't do transfer, every bottle Magnum Jéroboam of Champagne Bollinger has been hand riddled and hand disgorged, which for Jéroboam is becoming quite tricky. So 7 years, that's really when we reach this first plateau of expression of the wine, and then we decide, just to give a brief explanation of RD, we decide if the wine will do RD or not based on a few criteria. So on this one, we're still at the beginning. We release this wine in March, so we need to taste it until next year to see how it evolves and if the potential is here to do another journey of time. But this wine again is to me it's really the spirit of Bollinger. The 14, some of you may have the 14. We're completely different style, cool vintage, so more on the high minerality. When here it's really about the fleshiness of the best name to characterize it is generosity. The La Grande Année 15 is all about generosity. So very happy to
Thank
share
you.
that
Thank
with
you.
you
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.